It's the Addams Family, starring Dad and Mom, Susie, and that little scamp, Billy. The Addams Family. Today's episode, talking about sex in the 1950s. It's just after dinner and Susie's got a lot on her mind.
You know, Billy and Susie, sex is an important thing, and you need to make sure that you're ready. Ready for what, Dad?
Well, what are some of the reasons why you might want to have sex?
To make babies?
'Cause you're in love?
To impress your friends?
'Cause you want to feel good?
'Cause you have the hots for someone in math class like Susie does? Someone named Brock Malvo?
Hey, I can give you 5 reasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are lots of things that go along with sex, and some of them can be bad and some good, depending on how and when they happen. What do you mean, Mom? Well, vaginal sex with a boy can lead to pregnancy.
And during many kinds of sex between any two partners, there's the risk of sexually transmitted infections. That doesn't sound good. I don't ever want to have sex.
But Billy, sex can be a wonderful thing. It is just important to be aware of some of the risks and consequences, and there are ways to protect yourself.
Like with condos? No, Billy. Condoms, not condos. Condoms are protective devices worn on the penis or the sex toy that provide a barrier. They stop fluids, like semen and vaginal fluids, from being passed from one partner to another. That sounds like a good invention.
But what is really important is to make sure you talk with the person you're thinking about having sex with. This can be a really exciting part of a relationship. And there are many ways to be with a partner without having penetrative sex. So, it's okay to have sex?
Of course it is, honey. But not for you. You are never having sex. Never. We're still in the 1950s, remember? And you don't have a right to like it just yet.
What? That's not fair. It's okay for Billy and not for me. Wait until the 60s, honey. By then, society will start to accept women as equals.
Now go wash your mouth out with soap. What will the neighbors say?
I hate living in the 50s.
They make it sound so easy. Well, that's because they memorized a script. Real life isn't scripted.
There are no ready-made answers. Like most things in life, there are more questions than there are answers.
Here are some questions that we've encountered by doing workshops in high schools like yours. Feel free to press pause after each question so you guys have a chance to talk about it.
The important thing is to think about it. You should feel comfortable with your decision, not feel like you're being forced.
You need to think about protection and consider the consequences.
Both the good and the bad that might happen.
And the only person who can truly decide if they're ready or not is you.
If you're questioning it a lot, maybe you're not ready, and that's cool.
It's okay not to feel ready. It's okay to feel anxious, and it's okay just to jump in there and do it.
But who is your partner? And do you feel good when you're together?
How do you make them feel? What might change in your relationship after you have sex?
The important thing is that your partner respects your decision, no matter what it might be. Consensual sex is the only real sex, and it means more than not resisting. It's always necessary to check in with your partner and make sure they're enjoying themselves.
Now, you don't have to give your partner a checklist to memorize beforehand. You can actually ask them if they like what's going on and if they want to go further. And you can always stop at any time.
And talking about sex can be real awkward at first, but you become better with practice and can get to the good part sooner.
3 things to remember are explore, discover, and invent.
Exploring each other's bodies through kissing, massage, stroking, and mutual masturbation can be just as satisfying and amazing as penetrative sex, just as hot and just as intimate. And of course, it's a great starting point if you're a little unsure of each other.
It gives you a chance to discover yourself and each other. Inventing can be half the fun. Sex isn't only about penetration. Your body is full of erogenous zones that respond to touching and kissing. But there's no map for that, so you just gotta get into it.
And sex, all kinds of sex, are based on mutual pleasure and never about force. Your body is your real estate and nobody's got a right to it but you.
Here are a few other questions you might want to consider.